So as we enter the 2021 NHL playoffs, bad news on the doorstep this morning. One of the Stanley Cup winners from the late 1970s dynasty of the Montreal Canadiens has passed away. For a lot of people who haven't heard this guy, he was probably one of the most controversial defensemen in Montreal history, not because he was bad to the public or bad to the fans. Just that when he was taken very high in the draft, number 33 overall in 1974, where Montreal already had several defensemen on the team and through the pike that were better and more solid, it was kind of a head scratcher. He eventually made the big team and went on to greater success in business and sports agency and what they call management career after retirement. I did a previous podcast on him, and I was kind of rough on him, calling him one of the worst defensemen in Montreal history. I can't change my mind on that. However, I can respect him. More than 50 years, he's dedication to hockey. Like I said, good with the public in a number of manners. My opinion doesn't matter. It's the opinion of the majority of people. So today we're gonna center on that. Now, Gilles Lupien, again, one of the biggest players ever to skate with the Montreal Canadiens, 6'6", maybe 6'7", 210 pounds, was a tall drink of water, who came up from Le Chute, Quebec, very nice community. Hometown was Brownsburg. Came to major prominence in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, where he didn't score many goals, but he had a big presence. He was sort of like an enforcer, protector for the teams he played for. He broke in with the Quebec Rempart of the Q, 1972. 73 played with the Sherbrooke Castor, and then moved on to the Montreal Red, White, and Blue for 2 seasons. Best campaign was his draft year. 32 points in 44 games, including 3 goals, with 268 minutes and penalties. Now, the 74 draft was a very interesting one, because there was some question if Lupien was going to be top 80, because he was ranked, I think, 73rd or 74th overall in a lot of selection things. Actually, the Hockey News had him 97th overall. So when Montreal took him in the second round, it was kind of a head scratcher, because obviously he would have deserved a 3rd or 4th round pick. Some of the players that were taken after him could have really benefited Montreal more than Lupien, but like I said, that's what he wanted to do. Now, he eventually became a force in the minor leagues in the AHL for the Nova Scotia Voyageurs. He eventually won 2 titles there, and 76 and 77 were the glory years of the Voyageurs. Now, he was also taken by the WHA in 1974, 100 overall by the Toronto Toros. Now, there was some question that he might be signed by Toronto, but Montreal convinced him for the contract. Now, he was the penalty minutes leader for the AHL in 1975 and 1977. He would average between 210 and 310 minutes per season, again as the protector for the squad. Now, he had 35 minutes and penalties in that 1977 playoff for Nova Scotia. Again, served quite well as the protector of the key players that eventually were teammates with him in Montreal. Now, the Nova Scotia regular season champs as well, 76 and 77. Now, he eventually made the NHL in 1978, played 46 games on that cup winner with a goal and 3 assists for 4 points. Now, the reason he basically made the NHL, because at the time Montreal needed a better protector for Gilles Lupien, shot a few other the key players. Now, again, at 6'6", he was a bodyguard of Gilles Lupien mostly, and an enforcer when need be. He finished his debut season with 4 points in 46 games, and his playing time in the NHL increased to 72 games during sophomore season, in which he amassed the career-high 10 points with 9 assists, and finished 8th in the league in defensive point shares. Now, Lupien also played in 8 and 13 playoff games for for his 2 Stanley Cup wins. Now, his final season with the Habs in 1980, he recorded 8 points in 56 games, while leading the franchise in penalty minutes with 117. Now, later on, he was traded to the Penguins on September 26, 1980, for a third-round selection in the 83 NHL entry draft. Now, during the first half of the 1981 season, Lupien had just 1 assist in 31 games played, with a plus-minus rating of -15. He was traded mid-season to the Whalers in February 20th, 81. He played 20 games for the franchise, 2 goals and 4 assists, before playing only 1 game the following year. He also serves as a player assistant of the Binghamton Whalers in his last minor pro campaign, recording 20 points in 53 games before retiring at the end of the season. Now, upon retirement, he became one of the most prominent owners and player agents of his generation, because he had great communication skills, great way with the public, and eventually became what he called a trailblazer in both categories amongst Quebec businessmen and business owners. Now, by the way, just a reminder, he was considered, if I'm not mistaken, I thought Beck was a little bit taller, but he was the tallest defenseman in the NHL during his playing days. I think Chara obviously took over that mantle and still holds it to this day. Now, he went into the business world after his retirement, owning a Dunkin' Donuts franchise and also organizing a program to help former NHL players to adjust their lives after hockey. Now, he became a respected and prominent player agent, founding his own company and specializing in the representation of players from Quebec. He had more than 20 NHL players and prospects as clients, including Martin Lapointe, Patrick Lalime, Martin Barreau, Frederic Cazavi, Mathieu Chouinard, Denis Gauthier, Daniel Beauclair, Manny Fernandez, Roberto Luongo, Claude Lapointe, Sebastian Bordelot Jr., and Donald Odette. Now, because of his efforts, Lupi's hometown of Brownsburg, Quebec, his rink was named the Gilles Lupien Arena in his honor. Now, other people he represented included Martin Brodeur, Steve Bernier, Corey Crawford, and Sean Couturier. Now, we're talking about his business in the fast food industry. He also purchased a Humpty Dumpty Snack Foods location before acquiring a Boston Pizza. Now, Lupien was also part of a very interesting anti-abuse campaign. He was the agent for an unnamed player from the Drummondville Voyageurs who contacted him regarding sexual advances by the team's coach, Jean Bergeon. Lupien later reported incidents to the Q, but the matter was disregarded as the league said there was no proof of misconduct, but of course Bergeon was later convicted. Now, we also know he was the respected owner of the Longueuil Chevalier and the Victoriaville Tigers. So not only we would give back to hockey by being a motivator for young players, like a player, spokesperson, sort of like an NHLPA. He was representing some of the key Quebec players, especially goalies of the modern era since the early 1990s, and again giving back to hockey in any way we could. So 50 plus years, but you know, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I tell it like it is. I hope you don't hold against me. Should have been playing with the Montreal Canadiens in the late 1970s after so many prospects were let go by Montreal, Van Boxmeer, Bobby Murdoch, a few others. Not for me to say, I'm not running the team, but like I said, it drew a lot of ire because Montreal Canadiens supposed to be the elite at the time. And you know, he was good in the AHL, and the stats prove it. 269 games for the Voyageurs, 73 points, 24 goals. And in the playoffs, 13 points in 40 games. NHL totals, 226 games, 30 points, 5 goals, and 25 games in the playoffs with no points. Again, they say a whole life should be talked about, good and bad. He was never a controversial player, like I said. If anything, he was needed for the people he helped. But like I said, you're a number 7 defenseman that, would come on the ice and, he did what he did and protecting. Well, put it this way: if you're known for Gilles Lupien's protector, that's something to say. And anybody makes NHL, like I said, they deserve it. I'm not saying he did deserve to play in the NHL, just not with the Montreal Canadiens. This player could have been traded for a better defenseman, but he weaken the team. No, Montreal was so strong in the late 1970s. But like I said, 50 years plus, ladies and gentlemen, involved in hockey in one way or another, and have a rink named after you. A lot of people love this guy, and like I said, for those people, I'm doing this positive podcast. He will be missed by many, but like I was saying, he is part of that last Montreal Canadiens dynasty that starts the most arguments. You could get a bunch of people at a nursing home with dementia that haven't talked for weeks. You mention the word Gilles Lupien, and they'll go on a 20-minute diatribe, especially the games against Boston, where he was losing fights and didn't really know what to do to battle the Bruins. I think especially in 78 and 79. So, anyway. By the way, he died from cancer, so babe, we remind you, with any type of cancer, please pre-screen, get tested. It hit Lupien pretty hard. He went quick. Again, cancer is just an enemy to every person out there. So let's fight the enemy. Let's do something in tribute to Gilles Lupien. If you're of his age in his late 60s, get tested, get regularly screened, because that 15-minute visit can save your life. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing here with our podcast channel, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And again, have a look at some of the key games from Montreal in the late 1970s. Like I see how big this guy was. Like close to 7 feet on skates. I kid you not. Only Chera really compared on ice to this guy. Have a good day. Bye.